All right, thanks, Rick. The big focus here for your hump day is going to be the wet weather that we're expecting across the area. So it's nice to get a few beautiful days in. Now we've got to get back to the wet weather. And as I mentioned earlier, we're still running about a 2.5-inch deficit for the year. So we could use a little bit more, at least in our part of the state. Western Maryland certainly doesn't need it. We're already starting to see some showers making their way into parts of the state. Now, as a result of the excessive rainfall that we saw last week across Western Maryland, Garrett and Allegheny counties, under a flood watch here through Wednesday, as we're expecting some heavier rainfall totals there. And of course, with the ground still being close to saturated, they're still going to have some issues there with any heavy rainfall they do happen to get. 64 right now in Baltimore out at BWI Thurgood Marshall. Dew point is still 47, so there's still a large spread between the dew point and the temperature, which means the air is still relatively dry. But we do expect that rain to begin falling here later on tonight as temperatures hover into the 50s and 60s. Right now, that east wind really going to start ramping up here later on this evening and overnight and certainly into tomorrow morning. And that's going to be the big story throughout the day tomorrow. Gusty easterly wind and temps only reaching the upper 50s for highs. But notice their chances for rain really starting to ramp up after about 2 o'clock, and they stay high for pretty much the entire day. But I do think that the heaviest rain will occur during the morning hours. By afternoon, it'll become a little bit more spotty, but we'll still have some wet weather to deal with even this time tomorrow night. When I show you the radar, we're still going to have rain on it and likely into Friday as well. So again, our big storm system here, that's the first shot of precipitation making its way through the region. We're seeing some heavier rain now just off to the west associated with some severe weather that caused some significant tornadoes out to the west across parts of the Mid-South earlier. Some tornado warnings north and west of Atlanta right now. We again will not see severe weather here. This will be a rain event. So notice tonight there's that initial shot of rain, just some scattered light showers there, but the bulk of the heavy rain is going to come in during the morning commute. So it will slow you down here for tomorrow morning. And then we'll be able to drop the alert day by lunchtime, if not before that, and just some spotty showers here throughout the afternoon. And the rain chances, again, stick around with us through the rest of the week. They gradually go down, but they'll continue high into your Thursday, and then just some widely scattered showers coming up on Friday, Saturday. We're going to have to keep an eye, though, on Memorial Day. We're getting some indications that we could see some rain chances during the afternoon, so may spoil your plans just a little bit. So speaking of that forecast, this is where we're expecting that chance for some showers in the evening. Temperatures, though, will be in the 70s, so at least we're going to warm up. Here's your First Alert 7-day forecast. Again, for tomorrow, high temperature into the upper 50s to around 60. Looks like those showers will stick around with us throughout most of the day, although the steadier rain will be in the morning. And then Thursday, we're looking at high temperatures into the mid-60s there, with scattered showers continuing. Same thing coming up on Friday to a lesser extent. And then I think our best day probably right now looks to be Saturday, although Sunday won't be too bad. We may see some showers try to creep their way in, though, on Memorial Day during the afternoon, and then more wet weather for the middle part of next week on Tuesday. Alex.
Derek, thank you.